Alright, so that's his ace Pokemon. What? Alright. So that's all he's got. What's the switch? Oh, Sucker Punch, alright. So just like the hardest lead. What does he have against Clodsire? Oh, that's what he has against Clodsire, okay. That actually hurts a lot.
Knowledge is power. I got demolished by a Lokix because I had no idea what this Pokemon does. And it's actually scary enough to do some crazy stuff if you don't know what it does. So let's break that down. If you enjoyed the video, or if it helps out in any way, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. So how did a 102 attack Pokemon wreck me? I mean, Stab is going to put some damage. First Impression is there, but I mean, we've seen Verlisify not be useful, not be that used, even though it has a 125 attack and all kinds of other stuff behind it. Like, it can First Impression Sucker Punch. Why wasn't it wrecking my Scizor back in the day? Okay, let's keep going into this. The Tinted Lens ability. Pokemon's attacks that are not very effective on the target deal double damage. I didn't know it was going to Tinted Lens. Like, maybe Focus Sash Swarm and then get some damage. But no, Life Orb Tinted Lens on the First Impression is going to convert into an insane amount of damage, and then even more with the Terastallization. So that's kind of the play. Like, you have to all in on this Pokemon as a lead. But if you do, it's an easy 1+ Pokemon. Like, First Impression Sucker Punch. We saw that damage is just going to kind of level everything and not really give too much of an opportunity. Because, okay, what if I'm Swords Dancing on the Scizor trying to go for the one-shot? Well, I'm still going to get First Impression Sucker Punched and KO'd. And 71, 78... don't have Life Orb on my Scizor. I think I'm safe behind my maxed out hit points. Like, this is a base 70 Pokemon with max hit points. Just a natural 100 defense. And I'm getting tapped out by the combo. And Bullet Punch is still just doing, like, not insane amount of damage. After the Life Orb, it's KO. But you kind of expect that if you're punching a Grasshopper with a Scizor's Bullet Punch, it's going to do more than 50%. But no, just like 71, 78, kind of average, not too much of an overwhelming hit. Lokix is actually like safe to get away with this. First Impression, you can eat the hit, if it's set up, even better, and then Sucker Punch removes all retaliation, and you get the KO. Now, because we're in a slower metagame, this 92 speed, which is normally terrible, which is normally just whatever when it comes to Pokemon, you just invest into it, you outspeed whatever, and then you get the taunt or the U-turn down. And if you get that U-turn, like, if the next Pokemon that comes in is bulky, and you successfully U-turn, that's going to land a crazy amount of damage again. So let's go find the U-turn, and yeah, like, you're two-shotting things on U-turn. So Pokemon gets tagged by U-turn, you go into another one of yours, that matchup plays out, and then eventually Lokix comes in as the revenge. First Impression's enough to KO, Sucker Punch, and like, this is a 1+ Pokemon that's also can just go 2+. Again, you have to like commit everything into it, but when you do, the reward is you're up, you're winning, you're ahead. And I didn't respect the taunt, and the taunt makes the matchup kind of wild because it's just kind of, oh, why would he taunt? Because I could just throw an attack on him and then potentially KO. But by taunting, it means he's safe to U-turn, do a crazy amount of damage, and then I can't set up on the next Pokemon. If he just goes for the U-turn, I get the curse there, well then I just set up on his next Pokemon, Lokix comes back in, I'm +3 on my Clodsire, and then I can't win. Or not, I can't win, then he can't win because now he doesn't have enough damage to actually scare me. So the taunt just stacks this even harder. Like, first impression Sucker Punch takes out sweepers. Taunt, well, nothing's gonna care about matching you on this speed, or everything's gonna be slower, so you taunt them, and then there's very few things that can play around this because of that combo. Even like faster Pokemon, because you're just going to do that to them, and if you really need to, you just hard switch instead of U-turning, and this is going to happen again. The Tinted Lens actually removes a lot of potential downside from this Pokemon, but again, after like taking Chip, and after having a bulky Pokemon just kind of come in and absorb the hit and not really care, as long as it reads the taunt and just throws the attack, then yeah, we can see Lokix going down. But then that Pokemon's still kind of taunted, and the matchup gets ugly. It's a 1+. Like, it seems like one of the easiest, almost guaranteed 1+s in the game. The problems for Lokix are going to be the revenge, that if a bulk Pokemon stands up to it, takes it down, that's a problem. Or if the other two Pokemon on the opposing team, because like Lokix is going to U-turn out, still have some advantage, but if those Pokemon then use their Terra to gain some advantage and start the reverse sweep, Lokix can maybe fall apart inside of that, but eventually it's coming back, and it's doing it again. And then it just kind of becomes a coin flip if the other Pokemon that were chosen against Lokix can actually respond to it better instead of just getting like anti-led and crushed. But it really helps to know, oh, this thing has Tinted Lens. Oh, this thing's going to like all in on the Terra, and that means my Pokemon aren't safe even though this thing only has a 100 attack, and I thought I was resisting it. So, yeah, that's the moveset. As for other things Lokix does, there's really nothing else. Like, okay, Swords Dance, but then you can still get unawared. It can still just not really matter too much. This just seems like the best way of running Lokix. It's a very simple Pokemon. It's very weird early dex, has like almost nothing on the stats, but then priority means speed doesn't matter. All the other things you can boost into it, you know, Dual Stab on the Dark, which is what Verlisify is missing for its Sucker Punch, makes up for a lot of damage lacking. Life Orb, because if you get hit, you're kind of like you're going to be a 2-hit KO, if not a 1-hit KO in a lot of situations. So yeah, losing health isn't going to change much of that, and then going Terra and then not having any resisted hits means, oh wow, this thing can actually be successful. So why get cute? Why mess with that and throw away what we saw to be an incredibly successful moveset? Maybe the only other thing here would be the Leech Life instead of U-turn, because like U-turn does give a lot of benefits and it kind of just lets Lokix come in and do the thing again. But if the opponents don't have too many options against Lokix, this could be really nice because now you can still crush them on Terra Bug, Tinted Lens, Stab, Life Orb, Leech Life, giving all your health back, and if that Pokemon wasn't one-hit KOing you anyways, well now you're just going to be winning that matchup too, and hard switching is always an option. It's nice to have like that crazy U-turn damage that we saw, but even without that, Lokix generated so much advantage, and it's coming back in to do it again. So it kind of gives like Lokix an extra option to stay in and then scrap it out with a Pokemon that's slower than it. That just kind of seems right. As for maximum hit points, because you're already outspeeding something, or outspeeding things, maybe this could be kind of it. Because looking at the damage that my Bullet Punch did, seems to be a not hit point invested Lokix, but I don't know what Adamant Nature uninvested 92 actually means. Because it's not like, oh, well, if I'm Jolly, then I'm outspeeding other 90 base speed Jolly Pokemon. But you need the Adamant to get like all this damage on the Lokix. That's kind of what the damage calculation showed here on that first impression, doing so much to my Scizor. And you can find some weird speed stuff with the neutral nature because Gyarados outspeeds you if it's Jolly. So that 80 speed, that 81 speed. So it really seems like there's no benefit to having 252 on the speed, especially because you're prioing everything that's faster than you, so other sweeping Pokemon, and then you're taunting anything slower, and uninvested 92 is going to be faster than everything. So actually the hit point could just kind of find a little bit more efficiency on this Pokemon. It is weak to special attacks as well, so those kind of leads and those kind of Pokemon can mess you up. But the overall takeaway is that this is actually pretty strong. It's gimmicky, but sometimes even if a Pokemon is one-dimensional, there's not going to be a response to it. How do you respond to this properly? You switch into the first impression and still take a lot of damage, and if it's a tank Pokemon, you're just getting taunted, so you can't like Iron Defense bulk into it and not care. I guess there's gonna be Pokemon that naturally shut it down like a Corviknight, so unless you're running something very specific, like this is going to take out a Pokemon, and there's not much you can do about it. The best you can know is just that it's going to do that. Do I think it's as strong as Glamora for like a sleeper sweeper Pokemon? No, because I feel like I could have maybe figured something out because, oh, he has to taunt me, so if I throw out the Terra Blast and that turns into a KO on the Lokix, then I get to stabilize on my tank Pokemon. But it's still like really surprisingly good, even if one-dimensional and even if it only has one moveset, because yeah, you can actually overload that idea and make it hard for your opponent to do anything about it. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.